Good morning, West Marshall. It's Miss Smith again. Here we are, another day away from school. I had some pretty good responses from sending out the read alouds, and I missed mine yesterday, so I apologize for that. I've got two ready to go for today. So my first one is going to be about a little dog, a husky dog. It's called Hideaway Husky. This makes me think about when I was growing up. We had a couple of husky dogs, and they loved to run out in the snow and be in the cold. So this ought to be a really good book. All right, it's called The Hideaway Husky. All right, and this husky's name was Paw. It says, Paw was a little hideaway husky. He lived in Alaska on a husky ranch with a family who trained some of the biggest, fastest, strongest sled dogs. For a husky, being part of a dog sled team was a great honor. Paw wanted to be part of a dog sled team more than anything in the world, but he was just a tiny dog, much smaller than the rest. He looks kind of sad in that picture there. Every day when the man who trained the huskies came to harness up the sled team, Paw would run over to him. Pick me, he would yip and yap in his tiny bark. The man would bend over, ruffle Paw's ears, and say, Sorry, little guy, only the biggest, fastest, and strongest dogs can pull my sled. Then Paw would shuffle over to his doghouse with his head hung low, curl up, and hide away. Oh, poor thing. One day, Paw was playing in the snow when Alex, the little boy who lived on the ranch, marched past dragging a green sled. Excited, Paw chased Alex across the field of snow, yipping and tugging at the rope handle on the sled. Maybe he wants to pull that sled. Alex stopped at the top of the steep hill. No, Paw, this sled doesn't need a dog to pull it. This sled slides down hills all by itself. Then, whoosh! Alex soared down the hill, leaving Paw in a spray of snow. Paw trudged home and slunk to his corner to hide away. Poor guy. It was evening when the dog sled team returned home. The man had just begun to unleash the dogs when his wife ran to him. Paw heard her say that Alex had not come home. It's dark now and it's snowing very hard. Alex's footsteps are probably filled in, she said. She was very worried that Alex was lost. Don't worry, I'll find him, said the man as he quickly retied the dogs to the sled. Paw dashed over, barking. I know where Alex is, he yapped, but the man pushed him aside. Not now, Paw, he scolded. I need the biggest, fastest, strongest dogs to help me. The man jumped back on the sled. Mush, he commanded, and the team took off. Paw chased after them, barking and barking, trying to let them know that they were heading in the wrong direction. But the sled quickly disappeared into the woods. I must find Alex and bring him home, thought Paw. He ran across the field and into the darkness. Uh-oh, I hope Paw doesn't get lost. Wind whipped the snow all around. It was difficult to move and hard to see, but Paw plowed through. Paw stopped at the top of the hill. His keen ears picked up a whimpering voice. At once, Paw dashed down the hill, following the sound. When he got to the bottom of the hill, Paw found Alex lying a few feet from his sled. The boy had fallen off and hurt his leg. Alex was nearly covered in snow. Paw dragged Alex's sled over to him and with difficulty helped Alex onto it. Paw grabbed the rope handle of the sled and with his teeth started to tug. The brave little husky pulled and tugged and pushed, but the sled did not budge. Paw yelled harder, pulled harder. It did not move. Paw saw that Alex stood pale and his eyes were starting. Oh, Marshall here, my cat. Look at, there he is. Marshall wants to hear the story too. Paw saw that Alex looked pale and his eyes were starting to close. The determined husky gave it one more shot with all the strength that he had. Slowly, the sled started to move. I can do it, Paw told himself. Pa pulled the sled inch by inch up the top of the hill. He's not going to give up, is he? Pa was almost home when the man and his team of dogs came racing toward them. The man quickly jumped off his sled and ran to Alex. Then he turned to the dog. Pa, did you find Alex and pull him all the way home by yourself? The tired little husky wagged his tail wildly. That must mean yes. Pa sat and waited, looking hopefully at the reins of the man's sled. After the man had settled Alex into his sled, he walked over to Pa, bent down, and ruffled his ear. You saved my boy's life, Pa, the man said, but only the biggest, fastest, and strongest dogs can pull my sled. Pa's heart sank and his head hung low. The man continued, and also the bravest, most determined dogs. He placed a harness over Pa's head. My little husky, you have earned yourself a place on my dog sled team. Oh, look how happy he looks in the picture. Pa proudly joined the rest of the husky team and pulled the sled the rest of the way home. Oh, that was a great story. So, one thing that they're telling everybody, boys and girls, is that we do not want you to be outside, even though it might be tempting with the snow. So please, please, please stay safe. Listen to your mom and dad. Stay inside and stay where it's warm. Also, I'm getting a lot of emails that kids are really enjoying the stories and they're taking on the challenge of reading. So I'm going to continue to challenge you to read a couple of extra books. I was just looking, the research says that just 20 minutes of reading every day really improves a lot of different things. It improves your academic performance. It helps you to build relationships. It gives you experiences. So I'm going to challenge you to read 20 minutes every day that we're not in school for this snow day stretch. But I'm going to up the ante a little bit, boys and girls. I want to like you to challenge your mom and dads to read 20 minutes every day. And so that they can model this for you. So everybody stay safe, stay warm, and hopefully I'll be back here in a little bit with another book later today. See you later, guys.